Yeah, I mean, there's never a break. You know what I mean, with any of these offenses that we're playing. I mean, Utah was obviously very unique and brought their own set of problems that we didn't handle very well. But Texas Tech is loaded everywhere. We got guys who will play on Sunday everywhere on offense. We got our hands full, but I mean, we got the group. We got the group that can play with anybody. You know what I mean, and we got to continue to give our guys and get our guys to understand that. And we're going to continue to. We're going to put more of an emphasis on the things that have got us to this point, to be successful and to win the games and feeling like we can win every game we go into.
What was the issue with tackling Saturday? What was going on there?
It's a great question. You know what I mean? It's something that hasn't really shown itself in the last year and a half, and the first 7-8 games of 23. So it's one of those things. It presented different challenges, that offense, and getting the speed of it, which is one of the things that that we tried to duplicate, we tried to simulate, and we just didn't do a good job of doing it. And that's on me for not preparing our guys the right way and making sure that we were given the looks that we needed to get. And some of those looks we did give, but it wasn't at the speed or the tempo that they were running it. So it's just something you just constantly, as a coach, you look in the mirror and you know that when you see that there's little chinks in the process, there's chinks in how hard we're practicing and how physical we're practicing, and certain guys just not practicing at the game speed, and then they're putting in game speed situations. It's one of those things we got to have a microscope on, and as coaches, we can't let it get loose at all.
Coach, Texas Tech is kind of having some uncertainty at quarterback as well, just like you guys. How much of a challenge is it to prepare for quarterbacks with such contrasting styles like Hammond and Morton?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean it's first it's first offensive style, and you got to defend that. And you're looking at what is the the offensive coordinator's philosophy with certain personnel on the field. And then it's about the personnel, what I mean, and how can you mold, what you're doing system-wise to what they're doing. And it's all about strengths and weaknesses, trying to take away their strengths, make their weaknesses win their game for them. So, and that's with really any personnel group and any position that you're trying to play. So, both those quarterbacks are incredibly talented. They got a great future ahead of them with the younger kid. He's shown that he can play at a high level against good competition. And Barron is just he's a guy that's been there and done that, and he's an NFL guy, and you can see the progression that Mac has made with him in the year that he's been with him. I mean, he's just playing a lot more confident, plays with a lot more moxie, and Mac is their offensive coordinator is a hell of a coach. I worked with him briefly at Washington State, and I knew that he was a rising star, so he's gotten that offense really clicking at a high level.
How the guys responded? What were the conversations like after that, and then how they responded?
What
were the conversations like after that game?
Oh, okay.
How have the players responded?
It's one of those things, like we have a group that really kind of looks inside and they look at themselves. I mean, these are some older guys that have had a lot of success, and they've played at a high level against a very good competition, the best in the country, and we've been able to play, really, really well against those guys, and Utah did a great job, and it's one of those things you got to look at yourself, and they're a great group because me and us coaches, we're taking responsibility for it, and those older guys, they're taking responsibility for it. So it's which us as coaches will never say that, because we're always going to be like, hey, we got to be aware. And that's what a good coach does. Like, okay, is there something going on off the field? Is there something going on that's distracting you? Is there something, that we're not giving you a look as a coach? And having those relationships with the players and those conversations with the players in the routine of every week, that's what makes a good coach. And that's the thing that we got to own, as coaches, and to make sure that these things don't happen again, so we can continue to move towards improving, which is really the step that I thought we were going to take last week. I'm going to be judged on my judgment, what I'm saying, and it was bad judgment by myself.
It's obviously a big jump up in talent pool that he's working with, but what carryover have you seen from offensive coordinator Mac Leftwich from when you guys faced him at Texas State last year? He's part of that air raid family, and here's the thing about Mac. He's got answers for everything. I mean, I'm just telling you, he does. And
he's a humble, just hardworking coach, and he's a guy that is going to study me, and he's going to remember our times going against each other in practice, and he's going to, just like I'm going to do the same thing, you know what I mean? And some of the conversations we had while we were together for a short time at Wazoo, and now we've called a game against each other. He got after me in the first half last year, and I think we got probably the best of him, in quarters 3 and 4 last year. So it's going to be a heavyweight, a heavyweight match between he and I. I look forward to seeing him after the game, and I hope I'm looking forward to seeing him after the game too. So.
Very good.
Thanks,
Coach.
guys.
Thanks, Coach.